Did you see that he feels like he's vindicated from steroid use? So they changed the threshold from, well, whatever it was before, but they've changed it up to 100 picograms. So a picogram is 1/1,000,000th of a gram, and apparently does give you no performance advantage whatsoever. He had 25, I believe, in the system. Now it's 100. So he's like, oh, I'm cleared. I didn't. The actual tweet was, I feel cleared. There will be no asterisks next to any of my performances. It's good that the rest of the world can see what I've known this whole time. My only advantage over my competition has been pure hard work. There was things in his system, you know what I mean? Right. So I'm always dubious. Always dubious. Anytime there's a contaminated supplement, defense, and all the rest of it. I actually did a video on it yesterday on my YouTube channel, so I don't want to go into it too in depth because it can be kind of boring. But I mean, listen, there was things in the system that shouldn't have been there, you know. And then granted, there was the cocaine thing. I don't really hold that against him. You know, some people like to enjoy themselves. That's a recreational drug. It doesn't really.
Right. And it was out of competition. He can do whatever. It was out of competition.
You can do whatever you want. So that one, not so much. The dick pill thing, you know, he said that's where some of the contamination of certain drugs came from. Look, if I was him, I just wouldn't have bothered tweeting anything, to be honest, because you're kind of highlighting it. It's forgot. Yeah. It's forgot. It's in the past. You got a monster fight against Cyril Gane next week, heavyweight title on the line, and a sick fight card as well. I mean, I'm excited for that one.
Oh yes.
Okay, you're gonna get some.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, man. Yes, yes. So the camp is over, and now we feast. Yes, sir. Big thank you to Kevin and his beautiful family. We got grandma in there. I got a document. Yes, sir.
Does it look great?
Oh my goodness. Yes, sir. K-Dot and the family lady out there. Ooh. Thank you. Thank you.
If it's good, I made it.
Do you think Jon Jones will become champion?
I'm gonna keep it a buck. You know, Jon Jones is Jon Jones. I know he's putting on the size and everything, but there's so many unknowns. What is it, 3 years he's been out of the game, going up a weight class, going against a guy who moves just as nimble, who looks like he's like Israel Adesanya in terms of his feints and his footwork, light on his toes, really good striker. Obviously, we know the wrestling is a huge deficiency. We've seen that with the Francis and Gane fight, but that's also not thinking that Francis is gonna come in there and wrestle. He needs you to fall on a banana peel, and I think that's Jon's fight. Crucifix position, side mount, the fight's over. I personally feel that way.
So if it gets to the ground once, you think it's a wrap?
I think it's curtains. Curtains.
Bare knuckle boxing is pretty simple. Every match they ever have, they have a guy who puts some grease on you in the legal spots, and then another guy who checks your fingernails and then makes sure you're not greased down, as seen here. In this fight, they made Austin Trout take his towel off so that way they could do the same thing and put Vaseline in the same legal spots. This guy goes a little overboard and puts Vaseline all over his beard and his forehead. And that's a little absurd. And then, of course, we know about his manager, who you can see here in slow motion, taking some Vaseline from the cut man, who's a cool cut man and actually fights for BK. But bad move there on his part. He smears it into his hands. Yeah, you look like a f***ing smear. Look at that smug look on his face. And then he gives Austin Trout a back rub with the grease. I'm not saying that Austin Trout won the fight because of the grease, but Diego Sanchez, just like any other athlete, deserves a fair fight, and it wasn't fair by any means. And that's why they check you for grease before you fight in combat. This happened in the UFC years ago, GSP versus somebody, and that's why they started checking people for grease. BK, I'm a fan of you guys, but you really slipped up here. Slipped up here.
Kurt does not impress me often, but he got his first Twitter suspension, man. Good job, man.
What's next for Erin Blanchfield? Is it title shot? Are you ready for the title shot now? Are you ready to call out the queen, Valentina Shevchenko? Or do you think you need one more?
Oh, I think a title shot next would definitely make sense. I called for it in the cage, and you know, there's only 2 girls ahead of me. One of them already pulled out of a fight with me for whatever her reasons, and the other I know is still hurt right now. So I think after Valentina fights, I think I should get the winner next.
Drunk Conor McGregor at the TUF House. Video slipped out. I'm trusting you guys saw it. He made it. It was like with his own phone. He's leaving the TUF House. He's stumbling around drunk and says something.
Be outside the fighter's house. Yeah, I wait tomorrow morning. Wake up tomorrow morning. You're looking for action. And then there I am, click. The mic's back on the attack and that rock all over me.
I couldn't quite make what it was, but he laughs and he does this giggly thing. Like, people are different kind of drunks, as you well know. Conor appears to be really weird. Getting drunk appears to make Conor really weird. But what do you guys think about that? Like is a drunk Conor McGregor stumble around the TUF set interest you? I won't be mad at what your answer is. I'm just asking. I've never felt that they go hand in hand. Now, to tell an adult that he can't drink when he's following the laws, you know, being at home and not driving, it's a little bit weird to do, but commingling sport with some kind of substance abuse, I just think it's weird. I feel as though if you're gonna be drunk Conor, you shouldn't be drunk Conor in a mentor position over at the TUF House. They don't need to see you that way. It doesn't matter who the guy is. If he's coaching you, he's not one of you. It does not matter. It doesn't matter if he's older or if he's younger, if he's plenty experienced or his first day. If he is the coach, he is now not one of you. He does not come over drunk when you're all sober. He does not get drunk because you're all getting drunk. He doesn't show up drunk at all. He gets back to his house, he puts his phone down, and he does that in the dark of night, like a responsible person. I'm just sharing. What do you think of a drunk Conor McGregor stumbling around the TUF House? What part of that do we see as a mentorship? What part do we start to judge Conor and say, okay, then you're not taking this serious? But there was something when I saw Conor McGregor stumbling out of the TUF House, being a weird drunk. I mean, it was like he sang a song or something. I couldn't even understand. He couldn't even hold the camera steady. There was something about seeing him as a weird drunk, knowing that he was leaving that house. Okay. Leadership 101 is not, I come over and I put the troops in a tough situation, then I hit the door and go to a good one myself. That is not Leadership 101. Leadership 101 is when the troops are in a tough situation, I am in it with them. If you guys got to sleep here 13 deep with no entertainment, no booze, then I do as well. Not I come over, I have a good time, why you all don't. I tell you to take this serious and stay sober while I'm sauced, and then I leave to go back to my private McMansion. Before I get there, I go to the Bentley outside that's got a chauffeur waiting for it. It's not leadership. It's the opposite of leadership.
What's up, everybody? So this Sunday, we are having a celebration of life for Stefan Bonnar. A lot of the cast from season 1 of The Ultimate Fighter is going to be there. Stefan's family, friends, you know, a lot of our employees, etc. Media, everybody. Fans, we gave away like 500 tickets to fans. First come, first serve. So for those of you that couldn't make it, would like to see it, it will be live streaming on UFC.com, YouTube, and UFC Fight Pass. All free. And it's at 2 o'clock on the East Coast. So join us to celebrate the life of Stefan Bonnar.
Be outside the fighter's house. Yeah, I wait tomorrow morning. Wake up tomorrow morning. You're looking for action. And then there I am, click. That my ex-bike on the attack and that rock all over.
Stay on your feet! Stay on your feet! Stay on your feet!